This is Ryan Elliott for Boxing Social in association with Betfred. Today we're joined by Viddal Riley down here at the Boxer Show tonight in Wembley. Viddal, been a while since you and I caught up. How are you?
I know, man. I ain't seen you in a little while. But you look good. You look happy. I'm happy. So it's a good day. It's a good day at Wembley.
Thanks for saying I look good. I was stood outside in the rain for nearly an hour, so it might be a bit of a lie, but it's nice to see you anyway. Let's come down to you. You're down here doing some broadcaster work tonight with Sky Sports. Talk to me about that. How did this all come about?
So, my PR lady, Geraldine, great woman, helps me out all the time. Managed to use her connections and talk to the people that she knows, put my credentials forward, and they realize that with what I can do and the platform they have and the knowledge they have, that we can just merge it and create something new, bring a new flavor to boxing, and that's what I want to do anyway, so it makes perfect sense. And a lot of people think I'm retired now because I've got this job, but we'll let people think what they think.
Well, come on to you then. People waiting to see when you get back in the ring. Saw you had your release from Mayweather Promotions, so talk to me about that situation now, the release from Mayweather Promotions, and when we can expect news on the future as well.
So the release from Mayweather Promotions was honestly handled very well. Like, they understood what I needed. They understood why I felt how I felt. They understood that the pandemic played a big part in how our partnership would work, and I expressed that I wanted to be back home in the UK. I expressed that that's where I wanted to build my career because that's where it started. And they said, that's fair. I'm young. We had they put me on some of the biggest shows that has happened, Pacquiao and Broner, shows like that. They don't come around every day. Not everyone can say they've been on them. So the relationship was good, but it just made sense to let me come home and flourish here and just be where I want to show the fans what I can do.
I'm sure you're in hot demand now in the UK. Now that you're here, you're ready to base yourself and you've got your options laid out in front of you. How soon do you think we'll know where you're going to be fighting?
You'll know very soon. I can't say exactly when, otherwise I'll get in trouble. I'm being stared at right now. But it will be soon, and hopefully before the end of the year.
Won't probe anymore before Geraldine Davis slaps me around the ear. But look, to come on to you, I've known you for a long time, Viddal. I've known you someone to be very level-headed, but we were just talking off camera about the inactivity, and people starting to ask questions about you as well. Some people even suggesting you might even be retired. Is there a little bit of you that's looking forward to proving these people all wrong?
There's a big part of me that looks forward to proving everyone wrong. I don't take it personal. I just look at it very objectively. You haven't seen me box in 2 years. You go on my social media. You don't really see a lot of boxing posts. You haven't heard any fight announcements. Everyone else is fighting, other prospects in the ring. And then you think this guy is just getting this guy opportunity. What has he done? But everyone has to think from a different perspective. If I haven't been doing what you guys are doing and I'm here, what am I doing? You have to really look at it from a different perspective. But I understand everyone thinks, okay, he's inactive, he's not coming back. He's going to settle in at this job and he must be getting loads of money, whatever. Cool. They'll see. I'll be back in the ring, and those same people will be celebrating and saying, what, he proved me wrong, and he's a good guy, and I feel bad that I thought this way about him, and I'll be here to embrace it and accept him to the realest team.
Mentally, you seem in a great place. I know you've had some injuries to deal with in the past, and that's maybe contributed at times to the inactivity. How are you physically at the minute?
Physically, great. Shout out to my physio, Harvey, Sky Therapy. He's been putting in a lot of work. I see him 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and he knows how my body works. He knows when I need rest. He knows when the muscles needs to be pushed. He knows what's weakening, what leg will be weakening the other. He knows all of these things, and putting it all together to keep my body healthy and make sure that I can perform in the ring. And when I'm back in the ring, I don't have to bore you guys again talking about another pull-out and an injury and make you all hate me.
Exciting time to be a British cruiserweight, Viddal. On the bill tonight, we've got Richard Riakpo, part of this new Sky lineup. He's here and he's ready to get busy again. Chris Smith, your old amateur foe. He's got European, the British, the Commonwealth titles. Lawrence and Coley, world champion. Are you confident these fights happen with yourself down the line?
Yeah, I think these fights can happen. They're in the same weight as me, so the chances are I can fight them more than anyone else. Do you know what I mean? But we have to also remember these guys got years on me. I'm being compared to these guys because they're the best in the country. I understand, and that's a compliment to me for someone that hasn't fought in 2 years. But I'm not the same age as them. They're moving at a different pace as well. They have way more experience. These are people that I will meet if they fall back, because if they keep moving at the same pace, I shouldn't really catch them. And if we fight, it should be in a unification for multiple belts. So I like the fact that I'm putting the conversation with these guys. I'm enjoying watching them do what they're doing. I'm enjoying studying them because they could be potential opponents. And I think the more everyone talks about me, they watch me too to see why do they keep talking about this guy. So whenever I fight these guys, it'll be a great fight. It'll be something that would be built nicely. But it's just something that doesn't need to happen because I'm doing what I'm doing. They're doing what they're doing. I need to get back in the ring, get my rounds going, get everything that they've had. They've had 6-rounders, 8-rounders, 10, 12s. I haven't. So I'm not going to act like I have. I'm going to take my time, learn my craft. And when I go up to that level, I won't come down.
Just to go back to last weekend, Viddal, firstly Lawrence Coley, we saw him defend his WBO cruiserweight title in emphatic fashion. Seems to really be flourishing under Shane McGuigan there. Do you have confidence he can unify the division and maybe go on to claim all the belts at 200 pounds?
I don't see why not. Lawrence is awkward. He's got power. You know, he's learning his range and how to deliver his punches. We've seen him improve a lot. So to say he can't unify, I think would be unfair. You know, there's competition up there that we haven't seen him in there with before that are seasoned. And obviously that could raise some doubt. Can you really compete with those guys? But he can. At the end of the day, he can. And how he punches and his athleticism, a lot of the guys at the top are not young. Why can't Lawrence pull through and unify the division? I think he's capable of doing it. And yeah, that's my honest opinion.
Also in the main event now, I want to go back to a couple of years ago. Me and you spoke about Joshua-Usyk going up to heavyweight at some point, and you told me you think he's capable of winning all the belts up there. I'm guessing it didn't come as big a surprise to you as perhaps other people.
No, it wasn't a surprise to me. If you know the sport of boxing, you understand that Usyk, the way he can adapt on the night, he can change game plans on the night to get a victory. And we've seen when AJ might have to use a different game plan, he might not practice that as much as the main one and come unstuck. You can't really go against that guy. Fitness was on his side, speed, IQ. AJ had the power, he had the size, and if he would have, used that to bully him, the fight could have been different. But he had a game plan, he stuck to it, and if he did ever try and outbox Usyk, you could make the prediction that he was going to lose. And it was a good fight. Honestly, it was a good fight. I've watched it quite a few times now, and AJ showed that he could pull through, especially in the 5th, 6th, 7th. But I don't know. I think he just has to bully him more next time. Honestly, that's it. Everyone's giving him a hard time, but reality is he's there. The fight was very competitive, and if he's a bit more bully in there the next fight, he probably could clock Usyk. Because Usyk's face wasn't exactly clean. Do you know what I mean? AJ clearly done damage. If he bullies him a bit more, it could change the result. So everyone just needs to stop all these stories about AJ. You know what I mean? It's boring.
A couple more before I let you go. Another big night for the heavyweight division next weekend in Las Vegas. Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. The trilogy bout. What can Deontay Wilder do differently? We've seen the training clips under Malik Scott. I'm sure you've seen a bit. What do you make of it?
I think it's what he needs. It's exactly what he needed. You got a guy, again, similar attributes to Lawrence. Awkward, long, rangy, powerful. And they can clear through. But if you fight a good technical fighter, you can come unstuck. And Malik Scott is adding the technical side to Deontay's athleticism and raw power. So I do not think this fight will go like the second fight. I think Fury will win, but it's going to be a war this time. I think this third one will be back and forth, and both guys will leave the ring with respect for each other forever, because it will be one of those fights. It's built for so long. The animosity is there. They spent so much time with each other. This will be one of those fights. I think it will be a classic fight, Fury Wilder 3.
Final one before I let you go, Viddal, because I appreciate you here to do a job tonight. We've seen Jake Paul and Tommy Fury going back and forward of late. Jake Paul with that win over Tyron Woodley. He's then since put out a $1 million offer to Tommy Fury. Are you understanding of why Tommy Fury won't take that? What's your take on it?
I don't know. Sometimes I just feel like you got to know people like Jake Paul just say things for traction. And it's just part of their brand. It's just what they do, and it works. They say things that will get your attention and make you talk about it. But we don't know how serious that is. We don't know for a fact that even happened. So Tommy probably could look at it from the perspective that I am and just not entertain it. You don't need to reply to that. That's all I think of it, really. It's just, Jake's a king at getting the attention. He's a master of getting it, and stuff like that obviously raises attention. Tommy just might not be trying to entertain it until he hears something official behind closed doors. We don't know. Just a lot of speculation, really.
Viddal, last word to you for everyone that's been, I'm sure, sending you positive messages, waiting for you to get back in the ring. What do you like to say at them? Final word.
When I'm back in the ring, I'll be back. When I'm back in the ring, I'll be back, and I'm just going to show you guys that you can have social media responsibilities and still beat people up when you need to. That's it, honestly. That's all I'm just going to show everyone, and hopefully I'll take the stick, and then the next guy that does it after me can have it a bit easier because I took the stick. I'll be that guy.
Viddal, thank you as always, speaking of Boxing Social. Thank you.